I love me an FMV adventure game, and I'm loving the fact that China is really invested in loads of FMV adventure games recently. And whilst quite a lot of them are dating sims, which I'm less excited for, some are like proper tense thrillers. And this is where Road to Empress comes in. Road to Empress is a courtroom empire building drama where you play as Wu Zhao, who is the latest crop of maids to join the royal court. The royal court is led by Li Shimin, who has lost his empress wife many years ago, and that position lays vacant, hence Road to Empress. But as you as a maid gets put alongside different duties to serve the royal court, you'll also have loads of consorts. And these are women who are part of the court that sit alongside Li Shimin, who are busy trying to win his favour so that if and when he decides to either get an empress or he's going to pop the clogs himself and one of his princes, because there's two of those also vying for his affection and favour to become the new emperor should he die, everyone's busy trying to cozy on up to Li Shimin and do the right thing, but are busy trying to backstab and off everyone else too. I don't want to say this is Chinese Game of Thrones because I've never watched Game of Thrones, but you're going to get very similar vibes because if someone's not plotting to kill, take down, sabotage, or cause some kind of thing that sends you off to the west, never to be seen again, almost every single character is doing that. And so you've got to pick your way through the different choices throughout each of the 16 chapters. And about 8 hours that the adventure kind of takes through your first playthrough, you'll be trying as Wu to pick the right options and make your way through to the end. Road to Empress, though, has a really interesting approach to choose your own adventures because some of the most inconsequential choices about what you're thinking and feeling internally shapes out what your end result will be, and quite a lot of your actual big choices in the game, quite often you'll be presented with 4 choices and 3 of them will see you get killed or something go horribly wrong and you get a bad ending, and then there's only one right way through. And that's because some of the key moments of this game, you're kind of then pulled out from your branching tree of story choices funneled back into a key event to then spread back out again. And you'll notice this because different characters will have, depending on your actions, like a positive or negative relationship towards you. And you'll see these stats. You can't really see them in a menu anywhere, but it kind of says things like loyalty and confidence increases 5 points, or satisfaction goes down 5 points, depending on the actions that you do. That said, the story and the acting for this is absolutely superb. And when I talk about that, 3 choices see you dead and then 1 sees you alive, what you can then see when you go into the story chapter menus is all of these branching narratives, and you can pick which point and which video you want to kind of go back to replay again and choose something else. And the game's trying to egg you to get 100% completion by choosing different options, finding out different endings, seeing yourself killed off in about 200 different ways, no exaggeration. And also just seeing the general behind the scenes stuff that's going on, because when you complete a chapter you get to unlock bonus scenes with other characters where you get to see some of their hidden motivations, glimpses into stuff that happened before you arrived, that kind of stuff. It's really well done, and the setting and the acting and just the lavish nature of how this game is put together, it looks gorgeous on screen. The acting is superb. The consorts in particular, Consort Wei and Consort Yang, who are kind of the 2 big female baddies in this game, are so despicably evil. They are fantastic. And I loved to hate them and was busy trying to plot their downfall because they are so despicable. And it makes the game so much more playable and fun because almost every character is on a moral grey ground. And there are very few, just genuinely nice people. There's 1 or 2, and Yuni the dog deserves, its own fandom. But, yeah, I was desperate to bring them down Consort Yang and Consort Wei, and that had me fully invested in the story as they were busy offing or trying to off me or offing like my friends, for example. This all plays out in largely pick your own timing choices. There are a few time limited choices, and actually doing nothing is sometimes also an option. And so that's quite interesting in the way how that plays out. And what the game also does is it logs your very first choice on your first playthrough and starts building out a personality chart. And this develops more and more over each chapter. And then when you get to the end of the game, it then gives you a, like, this is your personality for how you would be in court and the types of traits you would have should you end up becoming or going on your road to becoming an Empress. It should be called out that this game is very much a part 1 of an at least 2-part series, and part 2 is already in production and in the works. But this game does end properly, if that makes sense, with a firm ending that means that depending on whatever ending you reach, because not all of them will see you staying in the court, for example. Some of them will see you leave and take on a different life, or maybe pursue a love interest or something like that. There are different options for you. They do end properly, and then it's up to you to kind of go back and explore different choices and see all the different ways how you could have died, bumped off other people and caused more problems. But anyway, I thought that personality chart was a really good addition. And there's a few other really cool additions in this game too. Every character has its own bio, and there's loads of hidden videos attached that aren't part of the main story, but they become unlocked as you complete chapters or certain criteria and choices that then make you go, aha, I can find out more about that character in those menus. And also loads of the different objects in the game as well have been photographed and then given their own biography as well. So some of the really gorgeous ornate environments or hairpins or dresses, it's like a full Wikipedia of everything to do with Road to Empress for you to then wade through, and it's really well put together and beautifully done. And I have to say that the UI in this game is gorgeous. As you meet more characters and their thoughts and feelings change, their bios then also update and unlock things to match, so that's quite cool. One of the odder things in this game, though, is its online leaderboard. What? For an FMV adventure game? No. What happens is you earn currency of flowers and eggs, and what you can do is daily, weekly and monthly and all time look at charts of who's thrown the most eggs at their disliked characters and who's given flowers to their most liked characters. It's interesting to see that sometimes the same characters are near the top of both charts, depending on how your playthroughs are and what you like and dislike. This game is absolutely stunning. It's rare for me to be so compelled with an FMV adventure game for all of the right reasons. Yes, it's overwrought. Yes, there is a lot of single tear crying. Yes, there are some musical themes to very dramatic, over the top, like posing and looking behind and slow motion outstretches of hands. But I'm used to this from Asian cinema, so I'm here for it, and I'm here for the drama. And there is drama in spades. Road to Empress takes place over multiple years, and so you have like characters get exiled that then will magically reappear later in like a new guise. There's an awful lot of interesting representation that goes on across this game, which I think is quite cool and muted as well, and not really it shone a light on in a way that doesn't go, hey, look everyone, we're doing this. It's just part of the fabric of even more choices and confusion for you to deal with, which I particularly liked. And yeah, there are characters to root for, characters to absolutely despise, and this is some of the best acting and setup and drama and cinematography that I've seen in an FMV adventure game for quite some time. Don't sleep on Road to Empress. I cannot wait for part 2. If you're looking for an FMV adventure game in 2025, pick this one. 10 out of 10. Adore it.